Hi, welcome back to Therapy Designs. If you're new to this channel, my name is Kelly, and this is the channel that's all about teaching you how to create print-on-demand designs using Canva. So if that is something you're interested in, or if you're new to print-on-demand and would like some useful tips and tricks, be sure to hit like and subscribe and stick around. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over how to create this design right here. It is, again, another trending popular niche. It says, "Vote We're Ruthless." I'm sure you can figure it out. It's really simple. We're just doing some stacked text, but I'm going to go step by step over how you would do this if you were brand new to Canva or beginning for print on demand. So if you're pretty advanced, it might seem a little repetitive or slow, but if you're brand new, this is the video for you, because I'm going to go ahead and just go step by step, nice and slowly, how I would do this, and I'm going to show you a lot of different tips and tricks that I would use to create this design. So if you're interested, please stick around. So I'm going to start at the very beginning because there may be some viewers that maybe haven't seen all the videos. I do these videos with the intention that you start at the beginning and kind of watch through them as a series to learn different techniques, because we do sort of layer on top of it. But if you're brand new and this is the first video you've seen, I'm going to go ahead and go nice and slow because this is a really quick technique. So I can show you all the steps here. So once you've logged into Canva, if you were to come up to create a design, you can do create a design or you can do custom size. Either way, we are going to want to pick a custom size. So I'm just going to click create a design, and then down at the bottom you can click custom size here too. So this will pull up your custom size. Now over here you can choose between pixels, inches, millimeters, centimeters. You want to be designing in pixels for print on demand, unless of course you're doing something like KDP. So if you're designing for KDP, that is going to be done in inches. So make sure that you know which one you're doing. For pixels, I'm going to go ahead and design in 4500 by 5400. And the reason that we choose this size is it was the standard t-shirt design size for Merch by Amazon. Now they've recently kind of changed the way they've done everything. They've switched from, Merch by Amazon to Amazon Merch on Demand. And so you can now kind of upload one size image and edit it for different products. Before you had to put in the right size for each individual product, so it's gotten a lot easier, but I do still design on 4500 by 5400. So I'm going to hit create a new design, and it is going to pull up this page right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is select background color. I do like to design on black, and the reason for that is black t-shirts are the #1 selling t-shirt color. So you always want to kind of optimize everything with black in mind, unless of course you're doing something specific, like you want it to be designed for pink for like breast cancer awareness, or for green, or for something else. But typically for most shirts, you're gonna want to optimize for black. You want it to look the best on black. So that is how I choose the color that I am gonna use. So over here, you've got a bunch of different tabs: templates, elements. Elements is where you're going to search for your photos and your graphics. Uploads is where you're going to find anything that you've uploaded. This one's very important because I do a lot of downloading and then re-uploading things so that I can take graphics and turn them into images that I can use photo effects on. Over here, you can find different texts. So if I click here, there's going to be a lot of different texts that you can choose from if you want some like pre-designed stuff. And of course you can always pick your own text by just hitting T on the keyboard. It will pull up a text box for you to see. Over here you've got some styles. This is going to give you some different colors. You can do backgrounds here. So if I didn't want to do a black background but I wanted to pick pictures or whatnot, there's backgrounds I can do here. You can create QR codes and a lot of different things that you can check out if you're brand new to this. I'm going to do a text-only design for this. So I am going to pick my own text too. So I'm not even going to bother with this. I'm just going to close that down. And so now I just have my page. I'm going to go ahead and hit T on my keyboard, and it's going to just pull up a text box. So now for this one, I'm going to start with the word vote. And I'm going to be showing you how to do a technique where you layer texts. And to do this, I am going to be saving one copy as a I'm going to save one copy as a PNG, upload it, and then use it as an image. The reason being is strictly the font that I want to use, and I will show you why. So I'm going to come up here, click fonts, and you can do different searches. So if you know what font you want to search for, I do have a video on that too. So if you wanted to search for, you know, script or futuristic or bold or wide or narrow, you can always do that kind of search there. If you just want to browse, of course, you can come down and there will be thousands for you to pick from. If you know what script you or what text you like, you can always just type the name of it in, and that's another easy one to do. If you just type the name in, then boom, it will come up. But there are so many of them, so it's hard to know the name. Some of these texts are not originally from Canva. Some I did get from Creative Fabrica, which you can go to and download some free texts and then upload them onto Canva. So a lot of the ones that you'll see here in the front are ones that I've uploaded. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one right here. Again, you can pick any text you want for this, okay? It doesn't have to be this one, it can be any style. We're just gonna go ahead and show you the technique. So I'm gonna go with vote, and I want it to be nice and big, just like that. I'm gonna be saving this as an image and pulling it up, and I'll show you why, because I do want there to be a border around it, but I want the border to go all the way around. So what happens if I do effects and I do shadow, I can get shadow and it'll give me a nice shadow, but it's not going to give me a border all the way around. If I want a border all the way around, I can come up here, oops, to splice. Splice will give me a border all the way around, and I can get rid of the offset to get this border. The problem is when we do script type font, it will outline every letter, so you'll see these overlaps here. So instead of just outlining the whole thing from the outside, it will also anywhere that it overlaps, and so you might not want that. And so I have another technique to do this where I don't end up with these overlaps. Another thing I could potentially do would just be to change the letter spacing so that they don't overlap. In order to do that, I could come up here, you'll see little arrows going up and down, that's spacing, and here I can adjust letter spacing and line spacing. So if I wanted to space them out so that they didn't overlap, I could do that. It's still overlapping a little bit right there, but I could definitely do that. It may not look good though with some of your script fonts, because when we're dealing with cursive, we want them to look like they're connected. And some of them, if you move them too far out, they're no longer connected and you kind of lose that style. So this would work if I move the letters out, but I don't really want to do that. I liked them closer together where they were. So if I want to undo everything I did, I could go step by step and undo it, or I could just come up here to the undo button and I can click that as many times as I want until I'm back to what I originally started with, which was right here where it says vote. So because I am going to be wanting to utilize a different technique with this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to save this. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. I come up here to share, I can click download. It's a PNG, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to download with a transparent background, and I'm just going to download it. Now I'm going to leave this alone because I'm still going to go ahead and use this because I'm going to be layering text. So now it has come down here, I've downloaded it. I can drag and drop, or I can come up to uploads and look for it and find it that way. I'm going to do a little drag and drop. It's automatically going to open my uploads, and there it is downloading. I can close this, and you can see right over here, when this is all full, that means it's fully uploaded and I can work with it now. So now I've got my copy. There's my copy. And if I want to make sure it's the same size as the original, no problem. All I have to do is spread it out until it's the width of the page. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to crop it a little bit. So I'm just going to pull that up, and now I can spread this out so it is the same width as the page, and now these are the exact same sizes, right? So now this is my copy one that I'm going to do the outline on. This is my original. I am going to want a couple more copies of the original, And so we're going to do some layers, and I'm going to start with the bottom layer. So let's say I want the bottom layer to be red. So let's just go ahead and select a red here. So here's my bottom layer. And I can do any shade I want, but I'm just going to leave it bright for now so it's easy to see. Now to duplicate this, real easy, I can hit Control D on my keyboard and it is going to duplicate this whole thing. So if I hit Control D, oops, when I'm clicked on it, it doesn't like me. Control D, there it is. Okay, now what it's done is it's duplicated it. So now I have 2 copies. So I can put it right on top of the other, and I can go ahead and make this whatever color I want the next color to be. So let's say I'm going to go with white. So now I'm going to go ahead and offset it a little. So I can choose to offset it as much as I want. An easy way if I want to make fine adjustments is to use the arrows on my keyboard. If I just hit the arrows like up, down, side, side, it will move it literally 1 pixel at a time, and so I can make very fine micro adjustments this way. So that is another trick. Now I'm going to do another layer here. So I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to hit a Control D. Now I've made another copy. For this one, I'm going to want it to be a blue layer. So let's just go ahead and pick a blue that we like. So that'll do. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take this top layer and I'm going to move it over until I get it where I want it. And so you can see right here how we've now got this layered text, right? So now I'm going to do this top one here. I'm going to put it over the top. So to make sure it's in top, because right now it's in the back, I am going to go ahead and just right click on it, and I can pick bring forward or bring to front. I want to pick bring to front because I want it in front of all the layers. Bring forward will bring it forward 1 layer at a time. So I'm going to put bring to front, and it's going to bring it to the front. Now I can put this one on top, right, like that, however I want. And so you can see if I just stopped here, it would be okay. I can line that up however I want, something like that. But I do like the idea of having the blue outline all the way around. Now that's why I went ahead and used an image here, because with the image, I can use photo effects. So I'll show you here. When I click on it, it says Edit Image. That's going to be different than if I click on this. So if I click on this, it's just script. I've got some effects for text, but it's different than here. This one is being viewed as a photo, and I can use photo effects on it. So I can come up to Edit Image, and here there's one that's called Shadows. Okay, there's a lot of different photo effects that we can use that I've been through in other videos, but for this one, Shadows, and there's different shadows I can use, but this glow one will give an outline all the way around. So this is the one that I like to use a lot. So you'll see there's these 3 lines here. What that means is if you click on the 3 lines, it's going to pull up different options for you. So here I can select what color I want the outline to be. So I'm going to go ahead and select, let's go with this blue color that's on top here. I can change whether or not I want there to be a blur or no blur. I can choose whether I want it to be transparent or not transparent. And of course I can choose the width. And so this is the one that I'm most concerned with, is making it nice and wide. Now right now it looks like it's got a blur. Let's bring the blur all the way down. There it goes. Now I've got a nice sharp outline, and I can make this outline again nice and thick. I do want it to look nice and thick. And so you'll notice here I'm not getting those overlaps that I got when I tried to do this with the text. And so that's the difference. That's why I go ahead and save it as a photo and do the photo effect instead, to avoid that overlap that I don't like. So now that I've got it how I want it, I can click apply, and it'll take a second for it to finalize. Sometimes it's faster than others. But now I've got my design. It says vote. It's totally, outlined the way I want it. And now I can take it and I can bring it wherever I want on this page, and you'll see the blue outline all the way around the top now. And again, I can still play with my arrows if I want it to look a little bit wider. So a little bit more layers there. So now it's really popping. I like the way that this looks, but I don't want it in the middle of the page. I want it up top. Now I don't want to have to move each one of these layers you know, individually and do this all again. So an easy way, once I have my design how I want it, would be to group all of these layers together. So if I left click anywhere outside of these layers, I can just drag over all of them. And if I drag over everything, it'll pop up right in the right-hand corner. It says group. I can hit group, and now this is just going to look like one image. And I can ungroup it at any time, right, if I want to, if I need to change something. But for right now, it's grouped. So now I can position it wherever I wanted to. If I need to change the size, I can do it that way. So I don't have to redo everything, and I don't have to do it perfectly in the right place and the right size and the right everything to begin with, because I can always group it together and then change it afterwards. So right now that looks pretty good. If I wanted to lock it to the page so that it didn't move, let's say I was afraid that I might bump it or something, no problem. I can click on here and I could lock it to the page. There's a few little dots right here and it says more. If I click that, there's a little padlock here. If I click padlock, it will now lock it to the page so I can't accidentally move it. So now it's all grouped together, it's all stuck. There's no moving it unless I unlock it, which would require, it has a little lock right here. It would require me to come up here and click unlock so you won't accidentally mess up. If you do accidentally mess up, no worries. You can always come back to this back button, this undo button, and it'll just take you back however many steps you want. So, you know, don't worry if you make a mistake. So right now I've got my cool layered text design, which is an actually really easy design to make. And for this one, I'm going to do a different, kind of a different take on a very trending niche right now. So you might see Vote We're Ruthless is one that you're seeing a lot of, but they all look exactly the same. So they all have just this white text and it's just kind of got the collar for the judges. And they all look the same. So if you want yours to stand out, you can maybe make a different, take a different take on some of the trending niches. So that's what I'm gonna do here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Vote We're Ruthless. So I'm gonna put We're Ruthless right under here. So to do that, I'm just gonna pull up another text box. Oops, it's tiny. Gotta pull that out to make it bigger. There you go. And right now it is in the exact same font that I used up here. So I'm going to click here, highlight it, and now I can just type in whatever I want. So I'm going to put we're, it's ruthless, right there. And I can resize it, I can change the color, I kind of like it there. I can use this font or I can change fonts. So let's say I wanted this to be a different font than on top. I can come up here where it says Groovy Script. Open this up and I can pick any other font I want, and you can play around and see what everything looks like. And so you can really take your time with a lot of designs. You don't want to take too much time because you will need to do a lot of designs once you start uploading a lot, and you know, time is money, so don't spend too much time on any one design, but definitely know what your options are, know what you can and can't do. And so here it says Vote We're Ruthless. I like that, it's pretty cool. I liked it the other way too, so I like both fonts, it doesn't matter. I could also do a little color here. This looks good on a black backdrop for a t-shirt, but let's say I wanted to make this into a sticker, and stickers have white backdrops. I would go ahead and make this a certain color, so I could make it red or I could make it blue, and that would look good on a sticker. In fact, maybe even a bumper sticker or something, so that's something that you might look into selling. But I do like it right now with the white. If I wanted to, I could just highlight Ruth and I could change the color of that. So if I did something like that, it could say Vote We're Ruthless, and that red should be the same color as this red. It's kind of hard to see. If I pull it up and go over the top, you can kind of see it's the same color red. It looks a little brighter down here. So I like it like that, really easy technique. If I did want to match a color, and let's say I had a lot of colors and I didn't know what the right one was, if you click more colors or add new color, you can play with all the colors up here. So I can pick, you know, all sorts of different shades. I can also use right here, there's a little eyedropper feature that says pick a color from the design. If I click that, I can hover anywhere over my design that I want, and select the color from the design that way. So it's a really good way to make sure that all of your colors match. And so here's my design. Vote, we're ruthless. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep this as white though, because I think it stands out a little better. So I'm just going to leave it there. I can title my design up here. Right now it says vote. I can go ahead and put the whole thing in. So we're ruthless. And then I'm going to save it just how I did the first time when I saved a vote. I'm going to come up to share. I'm going to hit download. I'm going to leave it as a PNG. I'm going to click transparent backdrop, and I'm going to download. And that is step by step from beginning to end how you would create a design for print on demand for a t-shirt. Okay. So I hope that was easy. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments section below. I did go over a lot of different tips and tricks right there, but you know, overall, this was a really simple and quick design. There was just a lot of talking. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you again next time. That's it for today's video. If you found this useful and would like to see more videos with helpful tips and tricks, be sure to hit like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any of the weekly videos. As always, keep growing and stay creative, and we'll see you next time.